Hi, Sandy. Thanks for joining us. We're going to start off with Alex Simon and then Paul Richardson.
Hi, Sandy. Both just as a quick start with an injury update. Obviously, Alana got back to you guys, was there Sunday, but didn't play. Is she practicing? And then obviously, is Diana practicing today as well?
Yeah, Lan was in, Diana was not today, but we're building her up to be ready for Thursday.
At this point, I guess you guys, I believe you told us on Sunday that you expect her to play Thursday. Is that still kind of your expectation at this point, even if she's not practicing yet?
Yeah, no, definitely. She was on the court yesterday and it, felt pretty good today. So we'll keep building her up. But yeah, we anticipate her being ready to play on Thursday.
When you look at bringing her back into the fold, I mean, you had one game, I think, where you had all 11. And then before that game even goes, does it kind of feel like, you would have loved for that to be more often, but if it's ever going to be where we get all 11 healthy and able, I guess the playoffs is the time for it to start?
No, not really. I would prefer it from day one of training camp. But like it is what it is. A lot of teams have been in the same boat, but it's not that we're just adding any kind of player. We're adding Diana Taurasi back to the mix. So she's been in these situations before. She's preparing it. She's mentally tough, and it'll be nice to have her back out there.
And I guess, when the game ended, last one for me, when the game ended Sunday, we didn't know and kind of had to play out to kind of see the drama that always seems to happen with the W, where it comes down to the last day for the final playoff spot. What was it like kind of going home, watching the end of that game and knowing by the end of that Dallas game that it was going to be the Liberty coming here?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we didn't know who we're going to play, and really, we got to focus on ourselves. But it's a pretty eventful day, that last day. And New York get it, and it's good that we've actually played them since the Olympic break. And I mean, they've changed, Semi's back. Semi wasn't with them when we played them last, so it's a team that can be really dangerous. So we have utmost respect. We have to make sure we go out there and play hard for 40 minutes.
Next will be Paul Richardson and then Michelle Vopel.
Coach, what is it about this team with these one and dones? They just not want to give you a long series to start, or you guys always seem to end up in these and you always perform so well. What is it about this team that handles that type of pressure so well?
I suppose we've been in it before, quite honest. We've made the playoffs for a lot of years in a row here, and obviously with the new format, it would be better to have a first round bye or two byes. That would be more ideal, but it is what it is. So we just got to make sure we come ready to play. And obviously we have a veteran team, and I think that certainly helps going to a format like this.
How important is it to have this game at home?
It's really big. I mean, obviously it's at GCU. It's not in our arena, but it's still in Phoenix. And, our fans have, the best fans in the WNBA. So, hopefully we can go out and have a good showing and, can win and keep moving on.
We'll go to Michelle Vopel and then Lauren Moses.
Yeah, Coach, congrats on the playoffs. I wondered if you could, I totally understand you guys sort of want to focus on yourselves, but I wonder if you could just give some quick thoughts on New York. I guess specifically Laney, the problem she presents, Ionescu playing her first playoff game, and Natasha Howard, with the experience she's had being a past champion. I guess those three, maybe in particular, obviously Sammy's been big too, but what do those three present in terms of challenges?
A lot of challenges. They complement each other. I think Laney has had a great year. I think her physicality, her aggressiveness, with the ball in her hands, whether it's getting to the rack or shooting the pull up, she's a tough defensive matchup as well. So she's a key matchup for us. And I think Sabrina gets more and more comfortable, especially I think she's gotten better, as the season's progressed, and, she's being really confident out there. I mean, she's a scorer. Everyone knows that. So we've got to make sure that we're locked in and not giving her the shots that she wants. And then Natasha Howard, obviously she's dangerous. She's very mobile. She can shoot the three. Obviously she had a great game against Washington in that last game. So, they're all dangerous in their own way. And, but the team as a whole, it's a team, obviously it's going to spread you out and shoot a lot of threes. And, if those threes are going in, it could be a really long night. So, we've got to make sure that we, like I said, just come locked in to, execute the scout to the best of our ability, but at the other end, make it really hard for them to defend us.
I know that all these decisions about the playoffs get made by the league, but it seems like every coach / GM I talk to really would like to go back to first round series. Do you have any strong feelings about that?
Yeah, no, I agree with them. I think we need to go about back to, a 3-5-5 format. So hopefully that will eventuate next year.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll go next to Lauren Moses and then Jeremiah Sosa.
Hi, Coach. Lauren Moses here. You spoke about having a veteran team. Chemistry also takes time and comes with that as well. How do you think that the group has really used that chemistry building time off season and into this season, specifically between Skylar and Diana? How do you think that has kind of helped you guys get to this point?
Well, Sky and Diana, first time playing with each other last year, and they spent a lot of time getting ready for this season. And obviously Diana was injured for the most part, but it's great. You have to spend time to get to know that person on and off the court, what they like and how it meshes together. But I think post-Olympics, when, Diana was back healthy, I thought their chemistry went to another level. They're helping each other, to be quite honest. Dee's putting her in the right spots and Sky's, creating options for Diana as well too. So, but I think the whole group really, quite honest, we didn't play great before the Olympics. We're up and down, but I think the whole, just getting chemistry, getting buy-in and getting locked in, and it's put us in this position. And of course, we'd like to be higher, but we're playing, pretty good ball, even though we had some hiccups near the end. But we know that we're capable of beating anyone, but we still have to go out there and do it.
Yeah, and you've coached some of the most competitive players in the league. What's coaching someone as driven and motivated like Skylar Diggins is?
She's great. I mean, she's a competitor. They all want to win. I mean, you want those kind of players. They get mad when, things are not going their way. I mean, they have that will to win. And there's, not all players are like that. I just try and, that's their personality. As long as we're all meshing together, that's fine. Showing emotion is not a bad thing, as long as it's under control. And but I've really, really enjoyed coaching Sky. I mean, it's been great to see her continue to grow as a player, and she's learned a few things along the way. But that competitive fire is certainly an asset.
We'll go to Jeremiah Sosa and then Josh Weinfuss.
Yeah, Coach. So you had Brittany sit out the second half of last game. How much do you think that rest is going to benefit her going into the playoff game?
Yeah, well, didn't want to risk any kind of injury, to be quite honest. But she's, we've played a lot of big minutes this year. She's such a focal point for us at both ends of the floor. So she'll be ready to go. She's feeling rested and, ready for a big game on Thursday.
We have time for 3 more. We'll go for Josh Weinfuss and then Jackie Powell.
Hey, Sandy. Brittany seems to be more aggressive in terms of dunking this year. What do you think about that overall? And then was it something that she discussed with you or you talked with her about?
What was the last question? Sorry.
Was that something that you guys talked about before the season?
Okay, no, not really. But look, I think that's all on BG with all the dunks, and we've been in situations if she's close and obviously it's an open lane, it's an easy shot for her, and I think it's great. I think it gets the crowd into it. I mean, it gets people talking about it. Talking about women that actually can dunk and not vice versa. And it's just something that she's very comfortable doing, and she's in great shape. So I think that helps her as well to get out there and, take those opportunities when they're presented to her.
Next will be Jackie Powell and then Kenneth Minaj.
Hey, Sandy, thanks so much for joining us. So I wanted to follow up on Michelle's question a bit. And I know you and I have spoken a little bit about this before, but when it comes to single elimination and its impact on potential rivalries in this league, do you think there's some sort of correlation, I guess, between that? If we're in this rivalry drought right now, is there, I guess, some responsibility to be put on the single elimination format?
Oh, I don't know. I think a playoff series is really exciting as well too. But I mean, that's obviously everyone wants to win. I think that's the rivalry. I mean, your own team, whoever you're playing, that's you want to make sure that you're winning, and it can get tensions arise and emotions get high the bigger the game. But yeah, I mean, I suppose it's a one-off game. It makes it probably a little bit more exciting, but I think the series is pretty exciting as well. Coach talk.
I guess I didn't explain it properly. I guess what I meant is that, does a series lead to more potential rivalries rather than one and done? Does that make it harder for those types of things to develop?
It depends where. I can't even answer that, quite honest. It depends on what's developed during the season, how rivalries happen. Sometimes something happens and that's how teams get all riled up, to be quite honest. I think, I suppose the fans love that. There's probably, our fans probably have certain teams that they love beating than others. But for me, it's a basketball game and, we're going to go out and compete and, there's passion. I think that's great for the game. So whether that creates rivalries, I don't really know, to be quite honest, but I think there's a few rivalries out there, but that's more about, the individuals probably going at it more than the team.
We'll finish up with Kenneth Minogue.
Hello, Coach. I just have one question for you. Early on in the season, the team had a close loss to the Liberty before going back to the locker room and doing the homework and getting the next 2 wins against the Liberty. What were some keys that you saw in the film room that you discussed in those practice sessions that got you those 2 wins later on in the schedule that you'd be looking to focus on for Thursday's game?
Yeah, look, to be quite honest, we just weren't playing very hard and very, very well together. And to win at this level, you've got to make sure you're bringing it every single game. So our focus was, we've got to compete. Got to compete. It's got to compete for 40 minutes, regardless of who you're playing. We can't be, you can't just rock up and think you're going to beat anyone, because you're going to fail and lose a game. And then it's just about, you're going to play together. You're going to play selfless basketball, because it's a team game. Keep moving the ball and getting great shots and making sure you communicate and do the little things on the defensive end, and then have some fun. Just enjoy the process. It's not always easy. People think this is like, our life is grand. It is grand. Wouldn't want to do anything else in the world, but sometimes it's really hard work too, just to make sure that we're getting to the spots we need to. And and I think post Olympics, we got playing with really good chemistry, and that helps. We can go out there and just play and do everything together, and hopefully it's good enough to win.
All right. Thanks for the time, Sandy.
Thanks, guys.